Hello YouTube. I thought I would make a video on the changes to Skyforge. They're upcoming, my thoughts about it, and the introduction of the Outlaw Collector's Edition. Here I have their website up here, and you'll see they are selling for roughly around $40 the ability to use their new class that's coming out in the patch for a week for anyone else. Now, before anybody knows if this class is good or what this class can do, just a couple screenshots. They want to sell it to their already existing player base. It also comes with a unique color for the costume, 10 days of premiums, 7,500 argents, and 100,000 credits. At $40, that's a lot. That's almost buying a new game, just off the premise that somehow everything will be new and better. This of itself kind of worries me. Not sure if they've proven in the past that they can release something quality that's worth your money, but they're already asking for more. Now, you can earn the Outlaw like everyone else after the update has been released, and if we go to their news on the new progression map, this is also up in the air. Just a few screenshots that show us a map, and you go through the campaign, unlock and do quests for new classes, new abilities, and you go from each of these nodes, and each node, like this one, will have several quests associated with it. These look like symbols that you used to be able to unlock with the Ascension Atlas, and now everything is going over to this regional map. Now, the regional map is it doesn't show a lot on one screen, so the interface has a lot of tabs, it looks like. Tabs within tabs to show all the different parts of the regional map. It looks like they still have the globe available to some extent, but I don't know how that ties in to the new map. So there might be some difficulty navigating, finding what you need. Just like the old Atlas, where they had drop-down menus to find things, they might need to improve this a little more so that it's easy to navigate. The other thing that's a major change in the new update is the combat. They say that you can dodge more attacks, and that you can pick up environmental objects or objects off your enemies and use them in combat. Now, this is kind of a gimmick. Doesn't mean that it's fun or the most effective way to fight is to pick up things off the ground, and it may just clutter up the interface more. I have trouble in some missions where I will have to activate a camera to get the bonus objective and interact with something in the environment, and they both take the same hotkey, and it's sensitive on where your character is positioned. So if they just have more and more stuff cluttering up the environment without good controls and UI, then it could just mean it's worse. It's just a gimmick, and it won't work very well. I think their combat needs a little more revamping in terms of animation and character positioning. They don't have animations that can go off while you're sidestepping or moving forward. They're all set animations that will do a certain move, and it's particular with melee classes. You'll see that when you hit the button, your character will lurch forward and do the set animation for that attack. In some games, they have put in a system that lets your character move and attack in various different directions. It looks more fluid. If you played a lot of games, you might have seen some of these games, and what I mean when I say fluid animation, hard-hitting animation is really what makes action combat fun. A lot of games have physics integrated into their combat, so you hit someone real hard, they'll go flying, they'll hit other objects. Physics really makes a game less predictable and more fun, because there are a lot more possibilities. While in Skyforge the combat ends up being a formula, you repeating the same actions again and again. With melee classes, it's even more tedious because you have to be next to them and perform combos. And combos is, it can help you put in more moves into a small control set, but it also can be frustrating pulling the right moves at the right time. It makes you a lot less efficient than a ranged class, because your positioning can change, the enemy could teleport, could move, and you won't be able to pull off your most effective moves, while a ranged class will not be as bothered by change in position or the mobility of your opponents. So we'll see how the combat ends up in Skyforge, if they put in some elements that make it more unpredictable and fun. In MMOs today, especially ones that are just tab targeting, the player base will find out the most effective way to kill something, and then everybody does it, and that kind of ruins all the strategy, tactics, and depth of a game. If you're not pulling off this strategy, then you're ineffective and not as rewarded as other players. You shouldn't be punished for your play style. I think the paladin should be able to be just as fun to play as a cryomancer, but currently the cryomancer lays down huge ice storms and gets the job done faster, while the advantages to being a paladin are kind of negligible, because you have to be in harm's way, and the amount of damage you can take relative to a cryomancer is not that much different. So these kind of inequalities need to be addressed. You need to look at all the metrics of every class and balance them better. You have to look at all the factors. The way I see the factors in most action combat games these days are mobility, crowd control, sustain, DPS, and AoE. So, or burst single target. So if you take a look at all the metrics of a class, you need to try to come up with some balancing factors. In PvP in Skyforge, I've fought plenty of paladins that seemed very difficult to kill, just based off them popping their invulnerability, but it's not balanced, because paladin can still be crowd controlled and bursted down without options counter or a different strategy for them to take. They're limited by their class to such a degree that there will be counters for it that they will not be able to adapt to. And a good class, a good balanced class, should be able to adapt to more than one type of opponent. So that's my thoughts on Ascension and the new Outlaw. I think the regional map is still up in the air, and I hope they don't try to release too many more collector's editions or money packages related to this patch before they release more details, demos, gameplay details. I think it's a bad business practice to sell things without details. And one picture of a really tough-looking outlaw jumping through the air with his guns isn't selling a game, and that's what they should be making is a good game if they want to make a lasting player base and to have a long-lasting game in this market. So those are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. If you'd like to hear more, and comment. Tell me what you think, what your worries and concerns are, what you're excited about. Maybe you have some reasons this will turn out great, and I'd like to hear about that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.